Are you looking for a podcast about one wild night in New York?
Well, then you're in the right place. Welcome to a YMBToAP Interlude.
Hello, Kelsey.
Hello, Robert.
Welcome to another Interlude, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so this interlude comes directly from one of our past shows where we watched Mickey 17, and we were so taken with the man that is Robert Pattinson
Correct.
that I floated watching a movie that I'd had on my radar for quite some time. So, we watched Good Time.
Yes.
By
Good time.
the Safdie brothers, who also did Uncut Gems later. So this was before Uncut Gems by 2 years.
I'm
Okay.
realizing now in the last show, I said Coen brothers and I meant to say Safdie brothers.
Well, it happens. I was a little surprised that Kelsey was like, yeah, let's watch a Safdie's brothers movie because they are a lot.
Yeah, they are a lot. I really loved Uncut Gems, so I really wanted to see.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen any
Like
other
their other
Safdie
thing.
brothers. Yeah, I don't think I've seen.
Neither have I.
All right, so you and I
Nope.
both had the same thoughts going into this. I just want
Same way
like
going in.
another Uncut Gems.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, since we both are coming from the same place, same vibes, same
Mhm.
feeling, let's give it a rating, see if we're in the same place.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
I want to go rating first.
All right.
I didn't really have a good time.
No. I mean,
I thought it was like a 6, honestly.
yeah, I was gonna rate it a 6. Okay, so we're
Okay,
in the
so
same
s-
boat.
So same thing. I'll tell
Maybe
you
a 6.5.
why. I mean, really, I only found myself like enjoying one part. There was one part that I was just like really into it. Right?
Okay.
It's when the guy is in the car telling him his story about how he got put in jail.
That was such a weird little like interlude in there. Like,
That's
it
my
just-
favorite part.
It didn't make sense with the flow. Like I think that's my criticism of this movie. Like Uncut Gems, I think had such an escalation that kind of made sense. It was just
Yeah.
like the character was stupid and you didn't want to root for him and he was just making mistake after mistake. Whereas this one, like Adam Sandler's mistakes made sense in the context of the movie because he was just like, I have to do this so that I
Yeah.
can do that, so that I can do that, so that I can do that. Whereas this guy
This
was
is
just like
a mess of unfortunate circumstances. Just like
yeah, he's
a
just
mess
like
of events.
meandering around the city, like fucking up thing after thing. And I'm like, man, you're not even like close to figuring out the problem at this point in time.
I don't even think you have a plan to figure it out, honestly.
No, like they just like go hang out in a guy's apartment after they like pretty much kill him in a theme park. Like,
Yeah.
what was the function? I don't know.
Like, for me, it almost came down more to a, I guess like an editing thing. There were so
Okay.
many moments of like intense and then like, let's just like back off with music for a
Yes.
while.
Yeah.
But then the music, do you remember like being a kid when you're younger and for some reason, no movie had like a loudness rating. Like there was no equal level of like audio. So like you watch this movie, everything's mixed perfect. You can just watch the movie, things are good. But this one, sound effects are like way up here, but all the vocals are way down here. So you
Yes.
constantly have to go up to hear them, but back off real quick because now there's action. Okay, but then back up to hear it. That's what I did with this movie the whole time. Anytime music would show up, I'd have to fucking take it to 0 because the
Yeah.
music was so blaringly loud,
Oh my god!
and
I'm
I
glad
couldn't
that you and I
hear
had
him
the same
half the fucking
experience.
time.
I couldn't hear shit in this movie. Like, we didn't have a
No.
subtitle track, and I was just like, I'm just gonna kind of like, I'm gonna take this movie on vibes and not try to listen to what they're fucking saying.
I honestly was like, am I about to go re-download this movie and try to find subtitles because I'm not enjoying having to mess with this because I was having to crank the volume up so high just to halfway understand.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, like I took it as like a, hey, this was like one of the early ones, one of their first ones. They were figuring out their footing. They tried something. This one didn't
Okay.
work.
All right. So,
You
how
know.
many movies do the Safdie brothers have?
You know, I was looking them up today, so feature films. We'll just go with ones they directed. They did 1, 2, 3. Good Time was number 4. Uncut Gems was number 5. So this is their fourth like directorial movie.
Dang.
In pretty fast succession. So it goes 2009, 13, 14, 17, 2019. I mean, I guess it doesn't take a lot of time to film people scream at each other for 2 hours, you know.
I do want to talk about like the filming and the making of this movie because I think that's unfortunately the most interesting parts about it.
Yeah.
You said that you didn't like the music part of it. So that I was like, the music in this movie has definitely a specific sound, but I don't like it. I don't like what it's going for. I understand what
think it was tension inducing because like they were like random one song, one random one, just like had one like long violin pull.
Okay.
That just was just like it was grating for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. So the soundtrack is by a man named Daniel Lopatin, Lopatin, Lopatin. I don't know. So he has a quote where he says, "We looked at the music in Good Time as another character," and there are 50 minutes of music in this 100-minute movie. So like,
wow,
half the movie is like scored, and I couldn't tell you a single piece of music that was in it because it was just kind of noise. So they said that the interviews that I have been reading after watching this movie change my perspective of it, I think, because I can see like what I can see the psyche kind of behind this, like what went into it. So he says, the conceptual thing I was working on was time, and that when time becomes apparent to you, then you're in trouble. If time doesn't become apparent and you're just living your life, then you're probably not experiencing any stress. But if you're up against the clock or you feel the presence of time on some level, then everything changes. And I think everything is one step apart, one step from falling apart. And I think that's what this film is about.
And I can vibe with that.
I can see that. Yeah, I think that's a pretty poignant thing to try to make a movie about. And there's another quote from one of the Safdie brothers that I'll talk about in a minute here too. But basically for the movie with the music, they were trying to just like create the concept of time and like the presence of anxiety. So the one part of the movie that like made me so very anxious was like when he's breaking his brother out of the hospital, which like he makes 17 mistakes in doing that. Like, why are you kicking apart a hospital bed? Why are you doing that? The arm just goes down if you just like move it properly. But anyway, so he gets the guy down and he's like on that accessoride doing the hydraulic lift thing, you know? And he's just like waiting for a long time and eventually has to just be like, can I cut in line so that I can get on? And he's like looking at the guard and like that seems very intense to me. So the hydraulic lift the director, the soundtrack guy, he took the sound of the hydraulic lift and figured out what key it was in. And then like just embedded the sonic language of the hydraulic lift into the score of the whole movie.
Why?
Yeah. Like, I think that's really cool and interesting. But like, man, they really like they approach this movie as sort of like an art piece because that part of the movie.
That's definitely what I felt watching it, you know.
Yeah, like that part of the movie I think is what makes the most apparent thing about time. Like I only have like 30 seconds to get this guy onto this lift before anybody sees anything, and it's like so anxious and time based in that moment. So like I see why they took that and they were like, let's make this the soundtrack. But like, man, that noise sucks.
Yeah. Can we crack into this?
Yes, please. I didn't bring a crackable. I brought myself a nice little tropical punch body armor. So
I'm gonna have another one today. Let me see what you think about this take from it. This movie feels like pie to me.
Okay, yeah.
I understand that it's good. You have a good idea, but it's not fun to watch this idea.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Like, I liked what Pie was doing, but I hated watching it. Mm-hmm. We both hated watching it.
Yeah, we did.
And like Uncut Gems, I still enjoyed watching it though. Like I felt I felt good in the chaos because I was like, oh my God, like this is horrible. Like what is going to happen next? But in this one, I didn't have that feeling. It was just
Yeah.
like, I was never emotionally invested
Yes.
in the mistakes or the problems.
That's exactly it. Like, the characters had their own stories and backgrounds, and that's actually like another piece of trivia. Let me scroll
Okay.
up in my trivia feed here.
Okay.
So you're saying like you and I think are on the same wavelength that like the characters were not interesting enough to me to like really develop an emotional attachment to them. I didn't care for their
Yeah.
motives. I didn't know why they were doing what they were doing, and I didn't understand like I didn't vibe with any of the characters. I didn't identify with
Yeah.
anybody. So Robert Pattinson and Benny Safdie, one of the Safdie brothers, plays the
Yes.
second character in this movie. They were given like actual scripts to the story, and they were given like really intense backgrounds, like full on, like this is who your character is, these are his motives, these are like this is what he's gone through
Okay.
in his life, this is his backstory. They had an uncle and he died and it was crazy and like whatever. And then everybody else in the movie was just given like also a super detailed backstory of their characters, no script. So this is largely improvised.
Okay.
Yeah. So Robert Pattinson, Betty Safdie, they are scripted, but they were also told like react to the other people in the scene as well as you can and incorporate that into your scripts and your performance.
And your lines. Okay.
Yeah. But everyone else is just like there for the ride. Which is nuts.
I think I can most feel that from the lady that he like crashes in her house, which
Yeah.
that whole scene that's a lot.
That was a lot.
So wait.
What?
Are you telling me that the guy that spills that fucking yarn about acid and going to the amusement park just fucking sat there and just went like, I'm gonna tell a wild fucking story?
No, so that is actually based on the real life experiences of that actor. Yeah.
What the fuck is this movie? Okay.
It's a lot. I
'Cause,
just
like, that's the okay. That's the part I like the most because I know we've all had this where like you encounter somebody that like you don't know, and yet for some reason they just open up to you and you just have to sit there and go like, mm-hmm.
yeah, man.
But like they might tell you the wildest shit. And that's what that guy was for me. And that's why I found it so entertaining because he was like, yeah, man, I don't remember anything. And then proceeds to recount minute for minute his entire fucking day beforehand. And I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. And I was so about that story. And then
Yeah.
everything else to really couldn't give a shit about.
Yeah, it's so weird the way that they did this movie because so the people were scripted, the extras, like not even the extras, so like the characters and the unnamed kind of background characters,
Yeah.
they were all scripted, non-scripted, and then everybody in the actual background, those are just like real human beings going about their life. Like they didn't close down anything for shooting when they're in the subway. Those are like real people riding the subway.
So that's why the audio is so weird.
Yes. So the
Gotcha.
scene in the subway, it was shot during rush hour with like real passengers. And in order to like do the shoot clandestinely so that nobody like saw the directors and the cameras and shit, they were directing Robert Pattinson via text messages. And like
Okay.
yeah, I'm in awe of how this was created because they said that like they were given like what $20 million of budget or something, but they were
Yeah.
like, but we're gonna make this movie like we want it to cost $40 because we're used to working that way and we feel best working that way.
Yeah. They got $2 million for this movie.
There you go.
This is a $2 million movie? That's nuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they like everything, like the emergency room, those are real patients in there. The mental hospital that they are at, those are real patients in there. Like it's all just real stuff. The mall cops, where they have the cops like chasing them through the mall, those guys were real cops that were hired as actors, but they didn't shut down the location, like I said. And the mall people were like, well, you can do that, I guess. Just don't like hit anybody in your chase. And there were like
And
Pedestrians.
fucking Benny, whatever the brother's name. Yeah, Benny Safdie. He runs into several people
I know.
during that chase.
There's like several customers at the mall that were like trying to actively stop the cops from chasing those guys. Like they were like, no,
God.
let him go. So it was a whole thing. It's nuts to me. And also like
Okay.
during the entire thing of filming, like how did Robert Pattinson not get recognized and mobbed? Because
Yeah.
he's still very famous. I mean, he was very like in character, so maybe they just didn't recognize him because he's so like
Okay.
different.
So this is 2017. Let's see. When did Twilight end? Let's take a look.
Didn't he also have like a very public divorce kind of with Kristen Stewart? Did they get married?
No,
But they were together for a while, right?
I don't think so. Twilight ended in 2012, so this is only 5 years later. Yeah, he would still be highly like noticeable.
Yeah, they dated for 4 years. Like
Oh, well, dang.
they were very
didn't know that.
together. And they left each other in 2013. So
So the movie ended and they said, all right, cool, we're done. Peace out.
it was just trauma bonding.
Mm-hmm. I was just telling somebody about him and how, like, he, like, purposefully didn't shower while he was making that movie so that people on set would just, like, leave him the fuck alone. I
He's
hate
a-
being here. Quit talking to me.
He's a weird little dude. I mean, so for this shoot too, like he wanted to be in character, so he would like go around and like buy clothes in New York City and like talk to people and be in character when he's out buying clothes. And
Yeah.
he bought the wardrobe and then just like slept in those clothes. And then
So
he
they were
said that
really
he,
worn. Okay.
yeah, he holed himself up in an apartment and ate nothing but canned tuna, and he didn't throw out the cans so that it would just
Okay.
like stink and be like a hellhole. What's he doing?
Hey, man, he is just method as can be.
He really is. I mean, it's a little admirable, but it's also like deeply weird.
But that's
I have
how-
another
That's how the best ones are, right? They're like, what's his name? Oh man, I can see his
Kubrick?
face. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh, is he a method
dude's-
actor like that?
That dude's method as fuck. He literally lived as Abraham Lincoln for like the years that he was on set,
What? Oh my god.
and would only respond to or President Lincoln and stuff. Like he
Jesus.
was so legit about it.
I could not live with an actor like that. Like I feel bad for their spouses.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so
Same.
there's a whole thing with casting. So the way that he got this role is also so fucking weird. So let me
Okay.
tell you about that. The role was written specifically for him because
Oh, okay.
he contacted the Safdie brothers. He just randomly, in a Google search or something, he was like checking out movie posters, and he saw the movie poster for Heaven Knows What, which is one of their other movies, I guess. Let me look at the poster so I can see what he saw.
Yeah, hang on.
Heaven.
So Heaven
Knows
Knows
What.
What was the movie made right before this one from 2014.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not really much of a poster. It's just a girl's face, and it's neon
Looking
pink.
sideways. Yep.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Robert Pattinson saw that and was like, I need to be involved in this. So, which one of the Safdies is talking here? One of the Safdies here says, I got this super cryptic, kind of weirdly obsessive email from Rob Pattinson out of the blue, basically saying, I saw the photo from Heaven Knows What on the internet, and the way he spoke about the stills was very much like Connie, who's the character that he plays in the movie.
Okay.
He said it was such an important thing. It was tied to his purpose, and he feels like it's exactly what he wants to do. And
Okay.
he didn't know the Safdie brothers. He just saw this poster and was like, I'm going to write a weird email to them and tell them that I need to be on your next project at all costs. And so like they wrote back and forth for a little bit, and he was like, yeah, whatever you're doing next, I want to be a part of it. And he
It's
even said,
me.
I'll do catering on your next movie if that's what it takes to work with you.
Okay.
He was just like enamored.
He is a weird guy.
He's a really weird guy. And
Okay,
this is
so after Twilight, I'm trying to, like, I don't know any of these movies that he did next, so I'm like, yeah, I guess he was just like, I want to make something. And boom, there you go. I don't know, like, any of his movies, dude.
I'm gonna look up his little movie history here. What have we got?
So one of his first ones was Goblet of Fire, where he was Cedric
right.
Diggory. Then he immediately goes into Twilight and does movies in between that. Like, he did that 9/11 movie while in Twilight.
9/11 movie.
Yeah, he made a movie called Remember Me, and it's like a love story movie. And at the very end, he like goes to work and he looks out the window and it pans out and it's fucking the Twin Towers and it says like September 11th, and that's the end of the movie. You've never heard about that one?
No.
Yeah, he made a 9/11 love story.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm glad I could give you that hearty chuckle.
Jesus. Fascinating. Okay. Yeah,
he
he's
picks the
just
weird
like
ones.
a lot of little movies, isn't he? High Life? What's
Yeah.
that one?
I don't know. I just looked at that poster too and was like, nope, don't know it.
It's got aliens. Or at least an
It's a
astronaut. I
horror
don't know.
movie though. So that's cool. Wait a
hell
minute.
yeah.
High Life. No, I mean, he's
A group
he
of
is
criminals.
the poster.
On a space mission towards a black hole. Why are they criminals?
It looks nuts.
All right.
And it lost a lot of money, so
He's like Daniel Radcliffe. I feel he's just like, I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
find projects that interest me, and I'm only gonna work on stuff that I want to work on, because he had such a bad
Yeah.
experience with Twilight. He's like, I need to do patents and things now.
I really think it's like 2019 where he starts taking off again, because that's when The Lighthouse came out.
Right.
That people really loved him in. Then he did Batman.
I really want to watch The Lighthouse. Like, I feel like
I
I
really
wasn't in
wanna
a
watch that
headspace
movie.
for it when I tried to watch it first.
I've still never tried, but I really want to watch it though.
Did you see
That's
Tenet?
No, I didn't see that one, and I heard it was whatever. So
Okay.
it's a Christopher Nolan thing. So I was like, it's fine.
What about Devil All the Time with old Frogmouth? I feel like I've seen this actually. I recognize
It
stills
was
from
on
it.
Netflix, so you might have caught it there. You know.
Yeah, maybe I did.
Yeah, I don't know that. Oh, and Bill Skarsgård, I'd watch it. Sebastian Stan, I'd watch it.
It's got a bunch of cute boys in it.
Man, there's good people in that movie. Maybe I'll look at that one. But anyway, like,
Anyway.
he has such a varied career.
Yeah, he really
Of,
does.
like, humongous blockbusters to what the fuck is that movie? You know?
Yeah. And
So
I guess, like, just his personality, the way that he... they said he had this Vietnam War vet quality, like he'd been through something very traumatic. He's constantly trying to avoid being seen all the time, which comes from the Twilight level of fame.
Yep.
This part of the quote I really, really like. If you put duct tape on a cat, they think they're up against a wall. And he kind of walks like that.
Okay. Ooh, don't look at me.
I
Just on edge all the time. Okay.
I want to be inside the Safdie brothers' head. I want to know what the fuck they were thinking. Okay. Last quote, I promise.
Okay.
Josh Safdie talking about the time part of the movie. So like this is the part of
Okay.
like being in their brain and knowing why the
Yeah.
hell they made this movie, what they were going for. So he says the movie takes place in only one night. It's a film like a dream, like a nightmare. We wanted to make it clear where each character was at each moment. And then, this is the weird part, I'm so petrified of time and being reminded of time. That's why I don't wear a watch. I just like to keep moving forward, because if you're moving forward, you can't stop. And then once you stop, you get depressed. That's it for me.
Jesus. Okay.
So I feel like I understand them a little bit more after reading that one. I was like, okay. I mean, yeah,
Okay,
you never
so-
stop. Never stop, never stopping. That's what this movie is really about.
Except they haven't made a movie since Uncut Gems.
And now they've stopped. So now he's depressed. So there's
Yep.
no more time. I don't know.
Well, they do have 2 movies coming up this year, so
Oh, really?
yeah, we'll see what that's all about. There's one called The Smashing Machine and Marty Supreme.
The Smashing Machine.
That's supposed to have The Rock in it and Emily Blunt. What the
What?
fuck? I'd watch that. Oh, and it's A24. Of course it is.
Okay.
Coming out October 3rd. So that's a ways away. Then Marty Supreme comes out Christmas Day of this year, with old Timothée Chalamet, Gwyneth Paltrow, Tyler the Creator, Kevin O'Leary, a bunch of people. Again, Fran Drescher. Fran Drescher.
Fran Drescher.
Very cool. Okay. I'll watch that one. Another A24 movie.
Okay. I feel like A24 and the Safdie brothers can do something, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's like they were made for one another.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I will go up, because I think you said 6.5. I'll go up to 0.5 because of the interesting behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's what brought me up to a 0.5 on it. I was like, I was definitely a 6 when I watched it. I was like, I don't need to know any more about that or watch it again. But then I looked up the trivia and I was like, okay, I'm a little interested.
Like I mean, really, guys, the plot, not a lot to tell you. This is the
paper
plot
thin.
in a nutshell. Robert Pattinson's brother is handicapped mentally, and he takes him to rob a bank, and his brother gets caught, so he just needs to raise $10,000 overnight to bail him out of jail.
$10,000 additional dollars on top of everything they stole from the bank.
Yeah, because, of course, they're stupid and forget that they have the fucking ink things on them that explode when you get too far away. Because, like, I was waiting for the backpack to do it, and it goes, and it started, and I go, yeah, the ink thing. And then it starts pouring out. I love his brother, though. I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up. You're not going to throw up. I'm going to throw up. This, I feel like Uncut Gems really honed in on the idea of the chaotic scene, the chaotic, everybody talking over one another.
Yes.
This one didn't do it a lot because it is more Robert Pattinson alone most of the time.
Yeah, it is.
And there is a lot of back and forth. It's like he says something, they respond, which makes sense when it's improv. You can't really improv speaking over someone else's line.
That's true, yeah.
So I can see why this one doesn't have that chaotic scene feeling that I kind of was looking for.
Yeah. The poster for this is not good. Like, I'm looking at posters. Wait, is Good Time A24?
Yes, it is. Distributed by A24.
Okay, A24 did the one good poster for it. Let me show you this.
Ooh. So it's not the one that's on Wikipedia. Or
No.
it's just like running.
No, that's a boring poster.
Yes, it is.
Look at this one.
Oh, hang on.
Oh,
Hang on.
what the fuck?
You're down here.
Oh, god damn it.
Watch
Oh,
stream.
god damn it.
Oh, god damn it.
I can't make it big.
That's okay. That's okay.
But look at it. It's Robert Pattinson in the Sprite bottle.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, the other ones are boring. Like, just his face, them running.
Well,
face,
that's the poster
different
that he
angle.
wanted because it's the same color as that other one.
Yeah, there you go.
You know? Like, I think that's my whole problem. I don't care about this guy. Like, I understand him. I understand that, like, he's just kind of a messy dude. But I don't care. I cared about Adam Sandler and Uncut Gems because, like, you kind of got a backstory. You kind of got why he does the stuff that he does. You know, he's in that failing marriage, and he's trying to do this, and he's trying to do that. Like, I feel like they gave more backstory with Uncut Gems, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Do you see, like, Hans Gruber in Robert Pattinson?
No.
No, I get, like this face right here
Like, maybe
and this face
the
right
eyes a
here.
bit.
Yeah, look at this. I feel like
That,
they're quite
yeah.
similar. Like, that's who he reminds me of, I think. I was
People
just,
are
like,
related in the weirdest ways. He could be some fifth cousin or something,
some
you know?
nephew, you know? Yeah,
But
like,
yeah,
I
so-
didn't... I guess I'm glad I watched it. I could have gone my whole life without
I
watching
mean,
it,
I
though.
am just so that I can say I've seen it now and I can be done with it.
I enjoyed seeing another facet of Robert Pattinson.
And okay, so, I mean, that was something I liked. I did appreciate him in this, and I was just like, yeah, that is another varied look, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't get Robert Pattinson from this.
Yeah.
And his accent, different to go with your whole, like, that many voices of Robert Pattinson thing.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But yeah, so the plot. He's getting his brother back. He breaks him out of the hospital because his brother got in a fight in prison. And when he breaks the guy out of the hospital, it's a different fucking guy.
Yeah, fucking stupid. Like, you didn't stop to check his wristband. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many
Because he's just so messy, you know?
Ugh,
like,
he's so messy.
everything about this guy is just messy and non-thought. Because he
Non-thought
also
indeed.
thought that he could take his girlfriend to the bail bond place and charge $10,000 on a credit card. Bullshit.
Nope.
That's a special kind of credit card you gotta have. Not just anybody. Nobody can charge $10,000 in a day.
No.
Except for certain people, you know. And not because you don't have the money, but you gotta have a card and an account for that.
And the clout.
Yeah. Not just, broke people on the street with credit cards.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna work that way.
No.
But so then the guy wakes up, it's not his brother, and he goes, I don't know how I fucking went to jail. I was selling LSD, and then I got put in jail. And he's like, oh, fuck, let's go get that LSD and sell it, and then I'll have the $10,000.
Yeah, and that was the one thing that I was like, okay, that thread makes sense in a roundabout way.
Yeah. But then, I feel like they think I'm going to care by the end because of this one line they say. But so they go to this amusement park where the guy hid the LSD.
Mm-hmm.
The security guard finds him. They fucking just pour LSD down this dude's throat and make him go fucking bananas.
That's like death, right? You can't come back from that.
Probably not.
Can you overdose? I'm not familiar with drugs. Can you overdose on LSD?
I didn't know LSD was a liquid, so.
Yeah, that was a lot of liquid.
Yeah, they just making that dude gulp LSD.
There's no hard yes or no. I'm bored of this Google search.
So then they go to that security guy's apartment to go hide out, and then the cops show up, so they arrest Robert Pattinson, who goes to jail, and the other guy falls out of the window up there and dies.
Death.
And then it just ends with them going like, yep, your brother did the right thing, taking the fall, and you get to go to mental therapy stuff. And then it just kind of ended. And I was like, what? Am I supposed to be like, oh, what a good brother now? Like,
yeah,
I don't care about what happened.
You're exactly where you're supposed to be, and he's exactly where he's supposed to be. Okay.
Like, this movie did nothing for me. I didn't get I can appreciate the movie aspect of it. I didn't get, I guess I can appreciate the Robert Pattinson aspect of it.
Yeah, I think that's what I took away from
guess.
this. Is that was the entertaining part to me. I guess I went into this wanting an Arpats film, and I got an Arpats film, so.
Yeah. I kind of wanted an Uncut Gems, and I did not leave with that.
No.
Even the shocking ending of Uncut Gems, I didn't get the shocking ending here. I don't feel.
No.
I just walked away going okay. I don't care. I didn't have a good time, and I'm very upset because I've been wanting to watch this movie for so long.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it didn't
be okay.
It didn't change my perspective on anything. It didn't alter my brain chemistry in any way.
No, it was fine. Taylor was getting uncomfortable because they're in that house with the girl. She's 16.
16-year-old girl, yeah.
How old is this guy? We
Pretty
don't
old.
know.
Yeah,
but he's got to be 30 something.
Yeah.
And then they started fooling around, and Taylor's like, I think I'm kind of done.
I mean, was he doing it so that she wouldn't look at him on the TV?
Just so she wouldn't watch the TV, yeah.
But then it kept continuing. I was like, how long is it going to go? And then he took her in the car, and he's like, I think that you're part of my destiny. What? What's happening?
The only thing I walked away with was, the chaoticness of somebody just trying to... I get what they said, the idea of time and how you're always pressed, so you just make the best decision to try to make the most of that time.
Yeah.
Okay, I need this girl to keep her phone here and this car here. I'm just going to, confess love, and then maybe she'll stick around. You're my purpose. Okay, cool. That's set. What's my next play?
Okay.
He just was doing things to get to his end goal, no matter what was going on in the interim.
And he never got there. Nothing. He never executed anything. And I guess that's the lesson we're supposed to take away from it is, I don't know.
Is plan better?
Yeah.
Don't be a weird stoner dude. I don't know.
Failure to plan is a plan to fail.
It was just not a lot of anything for me. And it's saying here, it was received positively from critics for its story.
Yeah, it got a 6-minute standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival.
I would not have stood up for this movie.
No. I would have stood up to leave.
No. I was about to say, I would have stood up to walk out. I mean, I don't know. I think we know because it was at Cannes. This wasn't at Fantastic Fest. That's how you know.
Yeah, that's how you know.
This wasn't a Fantastic Fest movie. If it was Fantastic Fest, it would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
But this movie should be canned.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
I don't really have
Yeah.
anything else to say about it.
I mean, I'm glad that we watched it just to kind of do it. I know we don't have many fails most of the time when
Yeah,
we
we
do
really
these kinds
don't.
of things.
Like normally we
Pi-
can glean something out of it.
Yeah, like really, it was Pi, Mulholland Drive.
Control.
Yeah, but we didn't have to watch it. We just had to suffer through playing it.
It was a lot of
But
time.
we did leave with something pretty good, though. We left with the hallway scene.
Yeah, we got the hallway scene out of that. This one, like, I literally don't have anything.
Yeah, all I wanted to talk about was how much I didn't have a good time. And
Yeah.
that I don't understand why it's so loved. Because, like, even when you look it up, Rotten Tomatoes, 91. What is so good? Like,
I feel like
what are you loving about this, you know?
people love to love a movie like this, I think is the thing. Let's see what Reddit says. Let's
You
see
know-
what these fedora wearers are thinking about
It's kind of like this. Have you ever seen these? Like, I'll get clips. It's mostly on TikTok, but it'll be like some of the best acting of all time, and it's always scenes of people screaming.
Uh-huh.
Like if you're screaming, that means you're acting so good, right?
good act.
and-
Yes.
And they're like, oh yeah, because the only acting is screaming. Like, and I was thinking about that one day. Like, yeah, how do you sell your depth of acting without those explosive moments? What about like an introspective moment, a sad moment? You know, like how come it's chaos and loud that we always go, that's what's good,
Yeah. I don't know.
instead of quiet and subdued? You know,
I would like a quiet and subdued. Reddit says when the movie just stops and that guy monologues about his acid. It's so good.
yes, that's the best part of the movie. Oh, Reddit, you are on it. Yep.
And then everyone else is just talking about uncut gems. The frenetic energy, heartbreaking, hilarious, intense. It's not.
This movie was not hilarious in any way.
No, it's not heartbreaking either. Like, it's just fucking boring, honestly. Like, at first, as chaotic as it was not a lot of plot and not a lot of character. Like, I don't want to watch just chaos.
You know those music moments that we were talking about? I think that's where people are tricked into thinking, like, isn't this amazing? Look, you know, this, like, indie type music is playing between these wild moments. You're like, yeah, wow, or something.
Yeah.
You know? I'm going to read let's go top critics on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's just see what they said.
Okay.
This one was rated fresh. Good Time isn't an exuberant or happy-go-lucky emotional ride. Rather, it's the cruel irony of white privilege, even in the
What?
lowest rungs of class.
What?
What? They got nothing. Okay.
Okay.
That was a top review, but his score is 3.5 out of 4.
Okay.
How's it at? Okay.
White privilege.
Nick's character doesn't exactly develop, but we do see its innards teased gradually apart. Ben Safdie's touching performance bookends the film with enormous grace. Does it?
Grace.
I mean, actually, the only part I even liked was the beginning with his brother and the end with his brother. I would have cared to see more about him than
You know,
Connie.
okay, another thing I read about, they pretended for like a screen test, they worked at a fake car wash together. And so like Benny would go around and like mess up and do stuff wrong, and Robert Pattinson would have to be like, no, this is how you do it. Like, you're supposed to do this, and like train him and teach him, and he would continue to
Yeah.
just like pull windshield wipers off of cars and shit.
Oh my god, okay.
And honestly, I would watch that little mini series, just them working at a car wash, over this
Yeah.
whole movie.
Like, are you surprised that I'm also not as into it because it was like kind of supposed to be like a brother thing? And I'm just like, I don't care
Yeah.
about these guys.
Yeah, like
The only thing I liked when they did rob the bank, I did like that one scene because he was all like, he was like, I gotta take off the mask. Help! I gotta get the mask off. He's like, look, you gotta do it though. Put your thumbs in. lift it up, and he's like, dude, I couldn't have done that without you. You were there being the strong guy. I couldn't have done this. You're amazing. He's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, the beginning, like watching them together, that was my favorite part of the movie. I didn't like anything after they were not together.
Exactly. Like, maybe I would have liked it more watching that relationship go and how he's like maybe actually trying to protect his brother, because I guess in the beginning it felt like he's this caretaker, but he didn't really ever take care of him the whole time.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie. It's a weird movie, guys.
It was a weird time.
You guys
Weird
are free
time,
to love it.
not good time.
Yeah. I don't even want to read reviews on it. It's fine.
I'm over it.
Yeah, you guys partake in it all you want. I'm just glad that I can mark it off saying I have watched it. I will say this, though. It's an hour 41. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this will be an easy watch. This felt like 3 hours.
It really did. For an hour 41, I was there for a long time.
Like, I, at one point, was like, I want to see how much longer is left, but I'm scared that it's going to be like an hour left of this
I
movie.
know. Halfway through, I wanted to text you and be like, do you want to pick a different movie?
I mean, I hadn't seen it by the time you watched it, so I'd have been like, uh-oh, sure, let's do that, but you probably should have. Just saved us some time.
Yeah.
But hey, that's good time. Robert Pattinson movie in the bag. We know to be wary of his stuff. We need to really check. But if we check, it's all great. It's all good
I
reviews.
know. Yeah, like, this is why I'm worried about The Lighthouse, because I started it and I was like, this is so
But
fucking
wrong,
weird.
because that's got Willem Dafoe, so it's automatically amazing.
I guess. We'll find out one day.
Did you ever watch Poor Things still?
No.
I think we need to do Poor Things.
I don't want to do Poor Things.
But that we'd have to watch together so I could help push you through. Because I think if you were watching it alone and you watched Willem Dafoe burp up that bubble, you would be like, I'm fucking out of this.
Ugh.
And I mean exactly what I just said.
All right.
So with that, I think we've had enough of this.
Yeah, I've had
Hopefully you
enough
guys
time.
enjoyed this interlude. Check out this movie if you
Or
really
don't.
want, just to get some Robert Pattinson notches in your belt. But yeah, I think this might be. We gave it a 6.5, but I think it's a YMBToAP pass.
Yeah,
Like
don't bother.
you're good. Not a YMBToAP bad. Just pass on it. You're
Just
fine.
pass.
Yeah, it's fine. That's it. Let's get out of here.
That's all we got. Goodbye.
Bye. Fine.
Bye.